from the government, and I'm here to help.
Take a look, it's in a book.
Some members of the use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda.
Let's watch. Figure it out.
Welcome back to another wonderful episode of We Figured It Out podcast. We are the end of days best friends. I'm your boy Michael.
And I'm Matt.
And today we're going to get a little wild. The world has got something hurtling at it and everybody freaking out. I've mentioned it a couple times actually because they keep telling us something different. But that comet just passed the sun. Did you see that too?
Yeah.
And they
3L Atlas.
3I.
Right? 3I, 3L. I can't tell. I mean, it's in computer. It could go either way.
Well, it's the third interstellar object. So that's how they get that. I don't know where Atlas comes from. Probably some Greek telescope name or some shit, right?
The third in it? Like, I mean, we're only up to 3. Okay.
I don't Dude, how do they even fucking know that too? Like, how do you know what's in our solar system? Or that's what interstellar means, right? Like it came from outside our solar system.
Yeah.
But like, okay, let's just see here real quick, right? We're on Google here. Let's see here. How far is our furthest telescope? Right? Or satellite? What should I say? Man-made object.
What was it, like Sputnik or something that was out of, like, what's the one out at Saturn?
Saturn, that's it? The furthest human-made object is the spacecraft Voyager 1, actually. And it's over 24 billion kilometers or 15 billion miles.
Okay, so that's
Earth.
outside the solar system even, right?
Yeah, it is. It's in interstellar space. What? It takes light 22.5 hours to travel from the Voyager to Earth. That's crazy.
It is. When they launch that?
I have no idea, dude. Let's see her current mission launched in 1977. See, here's what's crazy. Here's what's crazy. Okay. So I was looking at the 3I Atlas stuff, and it was saying that it's 7 to 11 billion years old. And I was like, oh, well, what if time don't exist there because light speed travel? And it said, if you were traveling at light speed, it would only be 4 Earth days to make that asteroid 11 billion, like 10 billion years old, the age of it. So 22.5 hours. That's like you're seeing some old stuff, right? In light year time. That'd be like if it takes 22.5 hours to travel from how far away the Voyager is to Earth, that means it's in like 2 billion year old stuff.
Yeah.
Which is crazy as fuck. How do you think? That's weird to wrap your head around, right?
Yeah. How is it that fucking far?
How is it that old around there?
How is it that far? You know?
Like, I don't know. I mean, does it have to be that far? It's been there since 1977, bro. That's 48 years. That ain't very long. So it only takes 48 years to get out of our solar system.
12.
See, here's another question.
I think it's only like 12 to Pluto.
They're like, you can't. No human can live or anything. It's like, dude, we're sending this shit out that's still alive. You can't put like a fucking human on it. It's got to be a
We
way to
gotta
make
have
air.
like it's like we gotta if we gotta test stuff, I mean send the pedophiles, you know?
Yeah, yeah, because I probably sound real dumb about the whole there's gotta be a way to do it when there's really no fucking way, you know.
Like, don't send the smart people that
Yeah.
yeah,
The people who can correct me.
yeah.
That's fun. All right, so anyway, that was just a little side tangent. They say that fucking comet asteroid. What is the difference, right? Meteors when it crashes, or is it asteroid when it crashes,
I have no idea.
or
I
is
have
it
no
comet?
comet, meteor, asteroid. What are the difference in all of these things? I have no like is it size? Is what's a meteor, versus a comet?
One of them has landed. I know that. Like one of them's made it in our atmosphere.
Because there's like meteor showers. We call them that, but is it a meteor shower?
Wouldn't it be weird if we just wake up one day and that fucking giant? They say it's supposed to be far as shit. It's just hurtling at the moon. I'm like, damn. How come we never see any of the things like impact the moon too from Earth? Just never gets hit in our lifetime.
Dude, right? But yet it has craters all over it.
You know what? I just want to say if we're at this time in history, it's really fucked up that we missed out on all that shit. Like they're like, oh man, all the craters were created forever ago on the moon. Well, why couldn't we be a part of that? I want to see that.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe we didn't want to see that. Who knows? I'm kind of drifting off here, just tangenting into whatever.
So a comet is a big icy rock that orbits its sun past Pluto. Key feature is it gets close to the sun, he makes ice vaporize, creating a glowing tail.
So Three
So,
Eye Atlas is a comet.
right, asteroid is a rocky metallic object that orbits the sun, mostly found in asteroid belts between Mars and Jupiter. Size can be as small as a pebble or hundreds of miles wide. The key
What the
difference is
fuck?
no tail, it's just a rock in metal and ice. Or not ice, not ice. So it's just a rock with no tail.
That's pretty trippy. I always
Yeah.
felt like they look like you remember Armageddon, the movie where they
Yeah, oh
drill
yeah.
into the
Yeah.
asteroid. Dude,
Yeah.
that thing always looked all like ominous and scary. It's like, does it really look like that up there? That doesn't look, why didn't it just look like a rock down here on Earth?
In a meteor and a meteorite. A meteor is a flash of light you see when a small space rock, a meteoroid, burns up in the Earth's atmosphere. If it survives the fall and hits the ground, it's a meteorite.
Okay, so meteor flies into the atmosphere, meteorite lands all the way.
Hmm.
We have
Hmm.
4 stages then. Okay. Um, so it kind of like they say that Three Eye Atlas originated from somewhere they believe around the Sagittarius constellation, which I don't know what the Sagittarius constellation looks like, right? But it's somewhere out there, like, an area of stars. And they also believe the wow signal comes from that same, like, I don't know, same area. Space is fucking huge,
What's
right?
the wow signal?
But the Sagittarius area also, it's in like the 70s, I believe, an astronomer found like
Oh,
numbers, everything's in numbers, and he wrote wow on the paper because instead of it just being ones and twos and zeros, I think I could be wrong. I'll look it up here, but it like repeated the same sequence over and over for 90 seconds. Um, August 15th. What, dude? 1977. When did the Voyager take off again that we said?
God, 48 years ago. When was that?
1977. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's look back at this. We're going to open both these fucking things here. Okay.
We just
Okay,
find a weird anomaly that they're like, hey, I found out where your fucking sound came from, bro.
Yeah, we figured this out and we weren't even trying to. Okay.
Right?
Dude, so Voyager was launched in September 5th.
Same year.
Yeah. But August 15th was the WoW signal. How trippy that they caught that.
Why didn't you do like, hey, there's something to go look
Yeah,
at?
you couldn't send it 20 days earlier. So, anyways, it was a radio signal detected by the Big Ear Radio Telescope, and it was 72 seconds long, and it's never been detected again. The astronomer got excited when he found it, and so he wrote "wow" on the paper, and that's why it says they call it that.
The wow signal.
Yeah, it was about 30 times, extremely strong, 30 times greater than any background noise that they had ever heard. And it was a narrow band, meaning it was concentrated at a specific frequency, unlike natural radio signals, which are broadband. Why wouldn't we use narrow band? Do you think we use narrow band in the military?
We hop.
Or do we use broadband, which would just be natural radio signals to infiltrate everything?
Both.
Yeah.
Depends how you want to go.
So they put numbers to these frequency signals, and they're always ones and twos because it's not much stronger than that, it says. But this wow signal popped off, and it gave letters even out, like 6 E Q U J 5, and then it just repeated that. People think that they're explaining it by a rare but extremely powerful flare. That was what they say today. The signal's characteristics initially suggested it could be a message from an advanced civilization. However, it's never been detected again.
In that same region?
Yeah, well, unless that signal you heard was how far? See, this is why I originally did the math to find out
How
that
did
it's
they find out which way they were going to send their space probes?
I mean, we're traveling, just hurtling, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if it came from the Sagittarius, that way, that's still that way in the universe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. They just shoot it at the Sagittarius. You got to launch it off Earth and let it spin around, right? And
Right.
travel
So
till it
so
catches
starts
somewhere.
going 15,000 miles an hour, right?
Yeah, something like that. And then
It's
you wait
been
for the
doing
window.
that for 48 years.
See, here's what's crazy. What if they only found that signal because it was this is all theory. I don't even know if this is fucking real. I'm
It's
literally
kind of
coming up with it
crazy
right
that
now.
we're like, hey, we found this weird signal. Hey, launch that.
Hey, launch the Voyager. And then from the same area, 50 years later, an interstellar traveler comes out. It's maybe the WoW signal was their signal as they were taking off from wherever they were at.
So how did he find it? It was just like a random antenna?
Yeah, he was an
Broadband
astronomer.
antenna?
He was an astronomer who just mapped the frequencies
Hmm.
of radio bursts, gamma
Right.
rays, all that boring shit.
So they're
And
probably
then
doing that to that, right?
I
Gotcha.
picture the movies, the guy's just sitting there eating his donut or whatever, and the
Yeah,
little
and
red
then he
light
just
starts.
hears and then he just hears wah, wah, and it means something to him,
Yeah. He's
yeah.
like, oh shit, this has never
Yeah.
happened. Yeah. In the
It's
history of the
the
world.
end of the world.
I know, ballsy to just be wow signal. It's cool.
Is
Seems,
that Independence Day that starts off with that one? Yeah.
I think so. I think so. Um, it was near the 1420 megahertz hydrogen line, it says, which is a frequency considered significant by SETI researchers. Right. So that's like alien researchers for, but anyways, they consider it significant for potential communication between intelligent civilizations. Does it? Does it though, really? Which is pretty crazy that, like, if they say too that it came from like a flare or a rare event in the giant whole universe, like it's pretty wild that our one time thing that's searching for that
We
gets it.
haven't had a flare since.
No, dude. Doesn't it, like, this hypothesis proposes that a powerful flare from a magnetar. So now we got Pokemon. What the fuck, dude?
That is definitely a Pokemon, bro.
Dude, that is definitely. Oh, this is horseshit. This is horseshit. But this theory, right? So that
When did that
mag,
come out? After Pokemon?
yeah, right. That is, it's a new theory. Yeah, it says this illumination caused the cloud to emit a powerful narrowband radio signal similar to a laser or a master flare. Okay. This would account for the signal's intensity and its temporary nature and its location in the sky. No, I don't know.
Base laser.
How do you find any of that? There's so much other stuff that people are like, yeah, but why is this in the fucking sky?
Dude, like anymore, I'm kind of worried about it being under the ocean more than up in the sky.
Yeah, I'm worried about the ocean too. There's something just coming out.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the day, dude,
And
that
then
like
like our government like had so many other things going on. They're like, yeah, hey guys, UFOs are real. And we're just like, yeah, and like we just all kind of just were like,
they
cool.
had videos of them like chasing the UFOs into the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
And then they were just diving in and being like, some of these pilots said it like moved the water on its own, so it didn't touch it. Which is pretty creative. It's
Yeah.
pretty tricky because we hit water and it tears us up.
It's true. It's
Anyway,
weird, dude. It is
tonight,
weird.
tonight, right? So, what if there were messages from that shit too? You know, that was the wow signal kind of thing I was getting to, you know, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight. Not like messages that are lights in the sky or, you know, like shadowy hallway shit, but like actual contact, you know, and contact that could be between like layers too. That's why I was bringing up light years and time difference. And, you know, if you've seen the movie Interstellar, I don't know if that shit's real, but
Yeah. Yeah.
they say time acts that way,
Right.
you know, and
Right.
it's interdimensional almost, and there's layers to it, and
I
it's all
think I
at one
know where
time.
you're going with this, Michael. I think I know
What?
where you're going with this.
Where am I going?
It's just us knocking on our own door.
We're in the bookcase, right? Isn't that
Yeah, yeah. And he starts pushing them out.
that's fucked up, dude?
Dude, that would be so weird.
It would be. It's always very fascinating to me, right? Space always, of course, but
Like,
the
yeah,
fucking
like the
bleeding in
age
time.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, time difference and everything like that. Like, yeah, Interstellar, dude, that's still like, dude, that thing will mess my head up for like 3 days, dude. Like, just trying to wrap my head around all that, like it just, how is the
Imagine,
age different? How is the age different? Like, just doesn't make sense. Like, Matt is still Matt no matter where he goes.
yes, yes.
But then they're like, yeah, but you are Matt wherever you go, everybody here changes. But how?
Hmm.
How? Time doesn't change. I just, I don't get it. I don't get it. You can't explain it to me. I don't get it.
Yeah, because they say like the further you get away, like the less grip it has. But it's like how? Aren't we still? So
I think our
really,
time is just an arbitrary thing about how many times we go around the sun, or how many times we go around in a circle, or the sun goes around us, or whatever the fuck's going
that's
on up
why
there.
what it is, right?
You
You'll
know?
still leave. Dude, it's fucking weird that like time and space are kind of relative like that, right? Because you could leave for say, you live 100 years and you could travel for 100 fucking years on that spaceship, you know, and you might see shit and come back to Earth. You can get pretty far in 100 years. You come back to Earth, it might be like a billion years later. That's fucking weird.
I mean, I feel like if you're traveling at the speed of light, I mean, I guess things just
That's
don't
what it is.
affect you the same, right? I mean, they can't.
It's just immense distances. It's
That's insane.
how does time, yeah, yeah. How just because
You're like,
I'm further
okay,
away.
because like you drive 100 miles, it's different. Because you go faster?
oh, I hope I hope there's like a physicist out here listening right now that's like these
Just
guys are
shaking
fucked.
his fucking head and this like,
It'd make me happy. If you are out there though too, please comment. Tell us how the fuck this is actually working.
yeah. Like,
Because
people are just like, will be like your normal comment. Oh, you guys are just fucking stupid.
yeah, I know, right? Unlike those other ones. You don't know.
Thank you.
You read a book, you don't know shit. I know. I know. Anyway,
That's hilarious.
dude,
Whoa, you read books.
I know. How you gonna let's just hit on that. How you gonna bash us for fucking having a guest on who actually like studies and reads stuff and then not like the way it's presented and call us like phony or something, you know?
Right? People are
Whatever.
just, that's people, man. That's
You
people.
can't please them all, dude. Not everybody. Not
No,
everybody likes ketchup, you know? Fucking
no.
whatever.
And they
Don't
just
make
have to
me laugh.
belittle you for liking the ketchup. That's the key.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever. So we're gonna talk about like dude, for the decades and long time now, how governments and scientists and soldiers and civilians, right, reported like these encounters that aren't like visitors from another star, like oh, that wasn't a fucking UFO. I swear that was, my brother or me or something like that. That's the weird shit, right? That's where time
Yeah.
gets fucked with. Intrusions from a neighboring world is what I wrote down in all caps.
Hmm.
So I thought that was cool to say. But
I thought that was cool to say.
and they like I don't know, dude, it'd be fucking weird, right? Don't you think? You've never like I feel like deja vu's like that, you know? Don't you? Like the same world but not. Remember
Yeah.
how the dude who died said it was like everything was the world, but he could tell it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was like
Like a true
fuzzier over.
deja vu.
It's like,
Like,
did
dude,
you
I was having
hop a
that
timeline?
hard the other day. Like, just like a timeline just working itself out, and like just the things that were going through my mind were the exact fuck same, dude. It was just like, I'm like, maybe I should twiddle my thumbs right now. I'm like, no, because I did that. I twiddled my thumbs. Like, I'm not doing that now. Like,
that's
I caught you, deja vu.
that's crazy though, right? Is it what is deja vu? What do you think that shit is?
I don't know, dude. It's crazy though, like when you're reliving the situation, though. Like, I feel like I used to get a lot more when I was little. Like just maybe it's just, I don't know. They say
It
that
does feel
God
like it
doesn't
hit a
talk
lot
to
more.
us in our dreams, but like, I mean, sometimes you just feel like you're where you need to be sometimes, Like,
Yeah.
it's like, fuck, maybe this is where I need to be right now. Like, shit. But then again, like your mind will play out a million scenarios, and it just so happens you're like, you just recognize that exact scenario from like one of your dreams. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel like I have most of my deja vu in my dreams. Like my dreams always feel like something I've done or been to. which is weird and pretty boring. It's like, damn, dude, people are dreaming about cool shit. I'm just going back to stuff I saw in real boring life. No, I say it out loud. I'm like, fucking loser.
Man, I was sitting there wiring in this box.
What are your dreams, bro? Your aspirations? Still working, I guess. Fuck me. So anyways, yeah, want to get into a little bit of hidden history of like interdimensional contact, the theories, the programs, and pulled up like some witnesses, who have supposedly we've spoke on a couple too, right? When we talked about like viewing, remember Inigo Swan we talked about, and like Jacques Vallée, the guy who fucking wrote about him or whatever. Anyway, so physicists like learned that reality at small scales doesn't follow common sense. Entangled particles, like, they know when they're being watched and when they don't, right? So they can shift outcomes and alter things and all that. And we've now been able to prove that, like, it's reactive almost to what we do. Matter and time and all this stuff is different from when we're viewing it and when we're not. So are there other things that we're not viewing or able to see, or blah blah blah, things like that?
Right. And that, like 90% of science is observation, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
so like
Absolutely.
if you're trying to observe something and it changes every time, then there goes your science
Right.
altogether because you don't have a constant at all.
Yeah, they used to tell us it's like, oh, everything was on this straight line and you had all this happen and this
Oh
event and
yeah,
then this.
this is a like okay, so I
Not
3D
anymore.
print. I'm gonna geek out for a minute. I 3D print, right? So like your issues are tiny. Like it's one tiny little issue, but like if you tweak one setting, like it changes so many other different things, Like it could be this setting, it could be this thing, it could be like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a matter of when like if that's your scientific method, right, is like isolating each one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So where does that go when like particles don't behave the same way ever?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly. And
Right.
is it different every time? Then even though you're doing the
I'm
same
just
thing, because
giving
it's
you a little show every time, you know what I'm saying?
seriously, dude,
It's just
what the fuck?
particles are just women.
Yeah, get out of my life, particles. We won't say what woman on air, but you know who you are. There's gonna be like 12 women out there right now. Fuck.
Like women watch our podcast.
I know, right? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what we're saying.
No.
Sometimes they know. And you know what? There are particles out there that are going to carry this out. And maybe, dude, it's just happening in like the ether of some other dimension. Okay.
I
We
mean,
can't get
really,
down.
what are you sending out? I mean, at the end of the day,
Maybe the wow signal was an old podcast.
could have been our
Uh,
old podcast that just
so, yeah, right. We're on like our 12th one in another area. But
it'd have
there's
to
a,
be like one of the like one of the Corona episodes, dude, because it's all just numbers just going like crazy, bro.
it is. Remember when, what was it? Crow, right? He's the
Yeah,
one out there. He's boosted it. He's jumping us through all these fucking. That's what happened to that episode.
yeah,
Shout out Crow. We miss you, bro.
that crow, dude. Yeah.
Right? He sent our episode to another dimension. I fucking swear, dude. That guy is. I swear he was opening portals. We're gonna get him back too, folks. I swear, he still answers. It's just like he's like, yeah, whenever, and I'm like, hell yeah, tonight. And then he's like, ooh,
Well, it's
I'm
about tonight, yeah.
interdimensional jumping tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
I had to
Comes
send your guys'
back.
podcast to the outer dimensions of our galaxy.
It'll be crazy, dude, because we saw like him in his mask, and then we saw what he looked like, and like we were like, oh, okay, it's gonna be wild. He next time it's been 7, 8 months since we've seen him, right? But he's gonna come back from like a portal and just be all old with this fucking beard and
So
Be
like
like
if
Robin Williams and Jumanji just been fighting stuff.
but like if time travel worked like you were talking about like with me is like, if it did work and we were in the future able to get it, we would come back and warn ourselves about whatever, right? Would we not? And be like, "Hey guys,
Yeah.
here's where you guys end up going wrong."
I think they say too, the only thing you can do, you either can't go to the past or that's the only thing you can do.
Mm.
I can't remember. I mean, I'm sitting in front of a computer. I could Google it, but if you would, it would be coming back to warn yourself. You would think, what else are you going to do with time travel? What else would you invent time travel for?
Like, and if I could only go back in the past, like, okay, then that.
Um, there's a book I have too. Nothing in this book is true, but it's exactly how things are. And it talks about like there's been different dimensional shifts, and like the Hadron Colliders, CERN is one of them, out in Switzerland there, the big loops that particle accelerate, but they
Yeah.
fucking jump. They say like they've jumped our Earth from dimensions to timelines to protect it, which would be pretty fucking wild if that. See, I sound wild saying it, dude, but who the fuck knows who's right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sitting down in some damn hole controlling something. I don't know if that's where they do
Yeah.
it.
I mean, that's what I assume they do and shoot lasers
Yeah,
around in
just
circles.
incredible energy, right?
Around in circles.
Yeah, but
Woo!
I'm pretty sure this is what it is. And just watch graphs. Is that
Somebody might have some feelings for their sister too. I mean, you like watching things go around in circles really fast.
there's no way. There's no way they haven't found something cool or ripped open the dimension because nobody's paying to just do this for this many years. It's not happening.
Dude, that much money too?
They literally
What are you discovering that's that worth it?
shut down NASA and it was trying to go to other fucking planets, but we're doing this underground. Like,
Didn't one dude get hit in the hand with it or something?
I think like the entire like face and everything.
Huh. Oh yeah, like he had like
Mm,
yeah.
fucked him up too. I think he died like it quickly. I don't think he'd like not without immense pain though, right? Isn't it insane radiation?
You would think I don't know how that
Cosmic
stuff works,
rays.
dude.
Cosmic rays, bro.
Like so you're just
If it can create Big Bang, then it's gotta fucking kill you, right? It's like, come on.
why are we playing with these things?
I don't know. Gives us something to talk about,
I
right?
guess. Like, hey, you know what we could spend money on? Things that we just want to know about. Like, I mean, I get it. We're very interested in how things work. However, how much money has that crap
I'm
cost
dead
us?
convinced the conspiracy world is right about it. It's either demons trying to figure shit out and fucking with it, right? The government's been lying, or they're just covering up money.
Yeah,
It
a
really
good
ain't
little
nothing. It can't be
fun. Like,
anything else,
no.
right? You're literally building this
You
whole
just
entire
covered
ruse to
all the
just lie to us.
bases,
Yeah,
really.
yeah, that's all it could be. So there's a couple hypotheses here, right? What if there's like the interdimensional one we're talking about, okay? And what we call UFOs or like apparitions and anomalies, shit like that, are transits from adjacent realities. So like, time folding on itself or opening, shit like that. I don't know. I don't know how the fuck that happens. Or maybe Matthew fucking cruised away on a spaceship for forever at light speed and came back. Very possible. It's just millions of years later. But it's something about like the realities, that are close enough. They always say, got to be close to bleed to ours. And there has to be like, oh, we got to line up our chakras and our energy with it. I don't know if I believe all that shit though. If there's like linking up realities, I think it's just going to happen. That's like kind of being like oh man, Jesus won't come back if we're not all full of love, or or if we're not this certain way, or which I don't think that.
No, it says he's coming back, period.
Okay.
Does it
Fair
say
enough.
unless?
When, right? Um,
Lion, not lamb.
so like throughout history too, there's echoes of things that they say, which is weird. I don't really understand that either. Like, have you ever heard that they can like see, they say in the timeline of things and like the frequencies, you could see like the wars and the extinction events and things like that. It's pretty weird, right? But everything like leaves energy. So maybe that's what deja vu could be.
I'm like people porting into your life real quick.
Yeah. All kinds of shit like that. Events, or I don't know. If there are the like alternate ones that could sit here and layer on top of each other, because all of time is happening right now. And then one of those big events happens in there. Maybe that's why the deja vu like sparks out. And then you get because like radiation from that timeline's event caught you. And you're like, oh, I've done this before. But in that world, it blew up. I'm just thinking of when we touched the rocket and in a different world, we blew our hands off.
Dude, got so lucky we didn't.
Fuck. Or blow anybody else
I
up.
was smart enough to use tongs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we
Genius.
understood
I
the
was
concept.
sheer genius. Dude, we'll just use tongs in this battery. We
Model
understood
rock.
how wires worked at that point. I mean, we could have probably made that work.
We could have made a fire. Um, dude, model rockets were the coolest fucking shit, were they not?
I think we needed to play with those more as children for sure.
Mm-hmm. Stuff. I don't know. A lot of us would have
Then
developed
again,
yeah.
like we were pretty bad kids. That was only a matter of time before those were horizontal, bro.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have played with those any more than we did. Our parents let us have just the right amount of them.
Yeah.
Thanks for keeping us out of jail, Mom.
For as long as you did, anyways.
Yeah, you tried. So like I already mentioned, because we've talked about before, Jacques Vallée, and he argued that UFO encounters, dude, were like controlled manifestations. They weren't actually extraterrestrial. They weren't these ships that fucking came from light years away and all this shit. They were just the phenomena that could cross over a boundary. Time could warp, and then you just got that short boundary right there instead of a whole linear
So
plane.
like
I mean,
short circuits.
yeah, crosses over. It makes sense.
As much as any other time theory, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, the concept of creating the bend and all that, I don't know how the fuck you're gonna do that. But
Well,
I
if you look
understand
around
that.
like a hole, like a wormhole, right? Or basically it would be, yeah, black hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bend time, right? You're bending light.
Makes me think of Saruman's eye in Lord of the Rings,
Mm.
where it's like in that portal, it's just a U, just as big. How come we never see him in any of the films? He's just like talking through, what is it, Saruman?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to sound, because I like Lord of
I
the
don't
Rings and I've seen them all a bunch. I don't want to sound stupid on.
think that's it.
Anyway,
I don't know.
so right there we're going to start here a little bit. There are programs too that we did, and we've when we talked about like remote viewing and all that, we didn't really touch on it because it was more like viewing, not actually traveling through time to do it. So there were other programs that actually did that under Project Stargate was the one we talked about with the remote viewing, right?
Right.
And there were just like simple trained viewers who could describe locations and targets. And that was like Ingo Swann that we talked about. He's the most like popular one, obviously. And then Pat Price was a police chief dude who delivered stunning target descriptions, and then he died suddenly. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I didn't really care about how he died suddenly either because he was a cop. No. Kidding. Buzzing. I'm just Joe McMoneagle, right? He was an Army intelligence officer, dude, who produced actionable data on remote viewing. Okay. Now those we've already talked about all that. That's why I kind of ran through it quickly, but it's important to note that because that's like a way that of traveling through space and time, you know? So it's important to remember that because consciousness can reach beyond distance, right?
Sure.
And that's kind of what it shows that there's maybe other areas where it does because your consciousness, you don't fucking see that, you know, it's not like some physical thing here.
True.
And maybe it can see beyond, you know, those things. I don't know.
Stole my data.
Yeah, and you don't need to hop into a fucking ship for that, right? You don't got to travel 48 years on the Voyager outside of our interstellar solar system.
Right.
And that's where I'm trying to figure out. And if you fast forward a little bit out of that time period, you know, you can get into like the 2000s and the 2010s where everything now are UAPs. And then there's this like these little intelligence acronym companies, you know, they started like creating cases where it seemed like the UAPs were intelligent or had like maneuvering ability, you know, or could respond back when people would describe like, oh man, it was blinking its flashing orb light at me, you know, or it came to me, you know, type stuff. And they found there were co-occurring like multiples of those in the anomalies, and they were orbs with electromagnetic spikes. So those like always came together, they said. And or if people called them entities, right? I put that in parentheses because poltergeist and shit like that, you know, and it's around Halloween. So
Yeah.
But that always carries when people are walking around, you know, and like, oh, we walked into the room, there must be ghosts. And it's like making their little detector jump and all that shit.
Right.
So it's a real fucking thing, right? They can know that like an orb on camera, and then you get those energy spikes, that something is there. Now, is it a UFO or is it something from time loop? Maybe is that a weird way to say it? Not in a time loop, but a different dimension. And that's like actually environmental from it, you know, and it's something you can interact with. So we started probing it more and more, and it was like happening more and more, you know. So it started to seem like they were getting somewhere with that shit. It's like, okay, well, maybe there are other dimensions, or there's static in the air.
Right.
Right.
I mean, somebody's messing with a proton collider.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
yeah, maybe Crow's your fucking neighbor.
it's true.
But the house is next to that guy. They're like, just, you know, when the say like when the ghetto birds fly around, you know, and they used to fucking look for houses. They're like, oh, we know you're growing fucking weed here because you got all this energy, you know.
They just hold up like a freaking like multimeter and just like,
yeah, dude.
oh, like,
A little thermal or like FLIR camera, you know, they fly by Crow's house. They're like, holy shit. It just makes their whole night vision thing glow. um, I got a couple places here too. Okay, so there's ranch country, right? We're gonna get out into here, you know, like Skinwalker Ranch, shit like that. Okay. Um, That's what I'm talking about right now. They document, dude, like a rotating cast of anomalies there. Okay. And they're always the same thing. And it's the crafts, they're luminous spheres or orbs, right? And like animals reacting to it, staying away from it, or they're, groups of dead ones, anything you can kind of think of, mutilated, you know, they all every time fall into that category. So people started researching it and being like, okay, we have the repeating of being watched by something, an orb or an entity, and people experience it at night and like only cognitive stuff by day, which would be deja vu, or like you walk in somewhere and it feels really vivid, or you're like, wait a minute, how the fuck did I get here?
Like, and I wonder, like, how much of that is people like wanting the same thing to happen in the same place so they get like that same ear, like kind of like, I mean, there's always like that, like it's natural in us to fear the dark. I mean, I feel like after a certain age you just like don't care what's in the dark anymore, or about dying, I guess. I don't know, you're just like, well, if I die, I die. Away I go into the dark. I'm
Yeah,
not
here
about
I
to sleep
go.
with my fucking lights on.
Oh, dude, that really does though. Like, cause I still, you get that part about you. And you're like, oh, I don't really want to fucking go back here. But
And
then
then
your
like, but
body's just
like
like, well,
if
here we
you're
go.
all like going there to like get that same like eerie kind of feeling, like of course a couple people are gonna, the hairs on your neck are gonna stand up or
Mm-hmm.
whatever because you get that leery
Yeah, there's
feeling.
something watching you. I feel like it's pretty open ended. Who
Yeah.
doesn't?
Yeah, like I mean, shit. That like, if you sit there in your own room and like, oh, I feel like I'm being watched, like, yeah, of course. You're like overdoing it.
What? Right?
But
To
like
that
when you were
same
little, like think about that. Like how much did you ever feel like you were being watched when you were little?
all the time.
Like always, right? Like I mean, whether my parents were around or not, I
To
always felt like I was being watched, like
to
always.
that point though, even when you felt like it though, there were times, bro, like our bodies are pretty intuitive, right? You start feeling like it and you're like, oh, that's weird. And you turn around and somebody is right there.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
like it ain't wrong. It ain't for nothing,
Right. But like you
dude.
go through your entire childhood and like I don't remember ever not like feeling like I was being slightly watched by somebody or something, or like I
Do
mean,
you ever do you have Snapchat?
yeah,
Do you ever how the fuck are we not Snapchat friends?
just
Anyway,
friends on everything else and share reels
I
all
know, right?
fucking day
What the
anyway.
fuck do we need Snapchat for? Dude, Alex
Whatever.
has like pictures, right? On Snapchat, and there's like of different like faces behind, when tracking things. And it's fucking weird. Like sent me a video one time, was like something behind literal face. I have screenshots of it looking down and then like move the camera, this way, nothing. Come back around there again, I'm like sideways a little bit, move nothing. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? Or like I'll be doing nothing, and the stairs are behind my couch. And I'll go to just like fuck around and put on that camera and it'll like catch a face sitting at the top of the stairs. And you're like, all right, turn that shit off.
Dude, that is, yeah, that's kind of weird, like how it
And
picks up random faces.
and there's the fucking crematorium, dude, right? And like the ambulance place literally on the block behind me. So I'm always like, man, if there's anything passing between like dimensions, they got to walk through my yard almost pretty much to get where they're
They're gonna
going,
take my yard because they're interdimensional. They're gonna take my
Well, there ain't no
to
fucking
get to the
pathway.
other side. The other side goes through my yard.
You didn't have to, right? Most
Get
people
off
are
the
like,
lawn.
most people are like, oh man, we had to send him with like, gold or something to get him across the lake of fire. And me, I'm like, you gotta pay up with some weed, dog. Get out of my yard. You got gas, grass, or ass, bud. Seriously though, right? That shit happens. And it's like, dude, it is right there fucking behind my house. It is. So it's like, maybe that's a little portal. They always be doing that shit at night too. You ever want it to smell weird?
During the day.
Yeah, they don't do it during the day. How fucked
I-
up! You drive by the crematorium and the smoke's billowing out during the day.
Dude, I wonder if there's something to do with like barometric pressures and shit, because like I feel like they did a lot more. Maybe you could just smell the fucking burning trash in Iraq more at night. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's nothing to fucking block anything there, right? It's kind of like
Yeah.
Wyoming.
Well, and then you build a base, which is like, like it just,
Speaking
yeah,
of Iraq, they're gonna get fucked up. I seen old Hegseth was like, "Hey, we're gonna fuck up Iran, and if you fuck with us, we're fucking you up."
yeah, yeah.
How often do we do
That's
that though? And everybody's like, "Bro, we're not fucking with you. Just leave us alone."
like you guys
Right?
are
Like,
just
yeah,
like,
whatever,
dude, we
dude.
were just chilling here and like you just started yelling. I don't know.
Right? Like, cool, bro. We're just fucking eating our falafel.
Like, working on
Um,
our nuclear program. Leave us alone.
um, researchers find too a lot of common things with like these when people claim there's like interdimensional overlap, not so much UFO, that there's attachment too. It's not just, oh, I saw it out here on the ranch. It's I saw it on the ranch and I left and went home and it was fucking in my mirror when I
Attachment.
got home. Yeah. That's fucking scary. Yeah, yeah,
Where
in your
is it
mind.
attached though?
Yeah.
Like that's where I kind of wonder. But
To
then
your
again,
brain.
like I don't know, you go playing with that stuff.
Dude, he
Something
fucking
gets attached to you. That's on you. You went and played with it.
yeah, you're the one who brought it here. Fuck. Also, though, like, why can't I tap into like Millionaire Michael? You know?
Where's that guy been with my stock advice?
Or where's like, you know, charitable Michael, the best Michael that donates all this stuff and has created all these good things for the world? I'll take that Michael before any of, you know? I'm just not a
Hmm?
good person anywhere. Why can't that guy dip down in? Like infiltrate interdimensionally over to my computer, and one morning I wake up on one of my monitors and there's like the cure
What
to
happens,
cancer.
like, I mean, like, say you just changed in a dimension, like, every time you had, like, deja vu, that was, like, just a different dimensional you, just
Holy
doing a
fuck, that's
fucking
why it
little,
feels like you've been there, because you were just there but something happened, so it was like a quick
you just,
reset, right? And you're like, whoa, I almost died, right? But you'll never know that. What the fuck? That'd be pretty wild too, right? Or it's like a Men in Black,
ew,
you got hit with the non-remember thing.
right? You're like, what the fuck? Did I just see an alien?
Yeah, I've been here before. And then you're like, damn it, they got me again, fourth time this week.
It's all that just
That
keeps happening to me because I have aliens following me around now.
I think that's my favorite theory of deja vu that you just said. If you were like there and then you felt like you were there because you were just there and something happened and you jumped, like dimensional shift. That's
Yeah,
pretty good. That's a
that'd be
pretty
very
good
good.
theory or hypothesis. We'd have to check
Hypothesis.
it.
I mean, it's got to be a theory because I mean, I'm pretty sure all their time theory isn't much better. You know, it's just theory.
Sure, they're all
I
theories.
mean,
Fuck you
how
guys.
can
Yeah,
you
we can
prove
we can have
it?
a theory.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why the proton collider shit fucking is going on. But I mean, yeah,
Um, the working theory among the researchers of those locations too is that they're like interference zones. So you've walked into like a field and there's too much electromagnetic there or something, so it can create that interference. And then our consciousness is supposedly like a frequency wave too. So then you got these fucking, did you hear that? I hit
dude.
my fucking keyboard.
Yeah, like it looked like your whole desk shook. You
Yeah,
just changed dimensions.
I
It's
did,
kind of
dude.
like the butterfly effect right there. You
Oh
just
shit.
shook right into it.
That'd be got a little bit of a bloody nose, right? So there's like they also say though in like dense cities, okay, there's like time slips, like you come around a street, and there's nobody fucking on it anymore. You like are walking, down the block and you're like, cool, gonna turn on, Second Street, and you turn on Second Street and you look up and it's fucking, you're at the high school or something. You're like, what the fuck? You know, that shit happens too. Oh, and that's like
Dementia.
yeah, those are like resynchronization is kind of how they've um classified it, okay? And so like you're in the city, you know, and you go around this corner and you're like, yo, what the fuck? I swear I was there, you know, and then you hear like the honk of a horn and it feels like, oh, I was just zoned out. And you keep walking, you know, shit like that. They say those, right? If you can measure some, they've been
Why
able to
is
measure.
Have you
Where's
ever
what?
heard of the doorway theory? Like when you forget something, it's like you had crossed a doorway.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you were going into the room for
Like,
something and you
dude,
forgot
so many
what it
times,
was.
like I was like, hey, I'm gonna go grab something in the other room. Gone. Gone. Like the second you cross that threshold, just
It happens to me so much with like
new
everything because
space.
I think I'm just retarded.
Like maybe it's just because like you're observing a new area,
Yeah.
so you're just like lost in whatever's new and then you forgot what the fuck.
I
I don't know.
constantly like go, all right, do this. And then I like stand up to do it. And I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Or then I'm like,
Like,
cool,
is
search
each
this. And
doorway a different dimension? Like, is that why I just forgot?
oh, I don't know, man. I think I fried too many brain cells. Or maybe I've jumped too many dimensions, you know?
Could be. Could
I
be.
do I do hear that though, right? They're like, oh, you went into the room, you don't remember what it was for. It's because, you know, you time slipped or whatever. And it's like, so that happened somewhere else, and now I'm over in another dimension, but it still continued. You know, because the other dimensional me can't stop. It's not like
Right.
it went anywhere.
Right. You just swapped real quick or
You think you could like touch your dimensional self? Like not sexually.
what?
I'd be open to sexually though, but like
Hey, buddy, how about an old fashioned?
I know what I like. Be a quick stop. No, but like, you know, you
Does
go
that? Oh man. Oh, like does that make you gay?
you feel like you get into a doorway. Yeah, you can't be gay. I'd be like, dude, it was me. I know I like pussy. It wasn't me. I would never do that. Not a, I jerk off all the time though. It can't be gay, right? It's just
Me
yourself
jerking
jerking
me
you off.
off.
Right? It's just 14-year-old me, bro. What the fuck? It doesn't mean I'm gay. Oh shit. Oh, we're gonna have to remove that part. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna leave it. Whatever. It's a treat, ladies and gentlemen. If you have, let's see here, where's the timer? If you've made it an hour and 17 minutes in, minus the intro, well, you just deserve. You just got that little treat. So what I really meant was though, like, dude, if you enter, okay, say you get to the other dimension or like something time shifts, you know, and like it goes wrong clearly because it's literally in the history of time shifts has clearly always gone right and nobody's fucking ran into the double of themselves.
Right, right.
It always works out correctly. But what happens like I jump into millionaire Michael mode and then I see him, you know, and I'm like, hey, and we touch each other.
Gently. At first. My gosh.
You know, it's like, is that allowed? Does that cause like a crazy magnetic spike? Does that fuck shit up? Oh my god. I can't think of anything else straight now. What if, all right, hear me out on this one. What
Let me
if
finish my train. All right.
how high is the RF spike or the magnetic fluctuation if you like get together and you and yourself bust a simultaneous interdimensional nut? Do you think you could birth like Superman? Because he's got to be like a hybrid then, right? Like a daywalker, like two versions, two
Dude, what if
dimensions.
there's a like how is there not a female version of Matt? If there's multiple dimensions, just saying.
I think I've
She
been
might be
talking to
kind of
that
good
one.
looking. Shut up.
He's kind of good looking. Yeah, I mean, there would have to be a female version of Matt. There'd have to be there's a sex change version of Matt. There's an everything version of Matt, right?
Training version? Gay version?
There's a
If that's the gay
version.
version, does that make me There's a lot of questions.
That's true. How far down to
There's
your
a lot of
core?
lines.
If you were born that way, right? You're born in another dimension. Fuck, I don't know. Dude, but they've
So
been
many
able,
questions.
they said in those moments of like, they've measured people like forgetting where they're at, and those have like different RF magnetic spikes too, like frequency spikes, which is weird. I don't know how you're getting to that point, like how you get that from somebody. You just send them down a maze or back to work and go, hey, we're just going to wait till you get lost in a hallway.
Yeah.
And what's the difference between like the fluctuations being like a little bit of nervousness?
Yeah, like you just strapped a whole bunch of shit to me.
Yeah, I'm fucking lost. Scared. I'm in the back rooms. That shit would freak me out, dude. If I ever like Crow, that's what I would be worried about if I was him. You're like gonna open one of those portals that he fucking had and you're gonna step through it and you're gonna be like in a grocery store that never ends.
Could be.
Or you're gonna be like in the CIA back rooms of all the experiments that you can never get out of.
True. End
Who
up in
owns
like some prison or something, like explaining how you got there.
right? Because there's gotta be like people running the back rooms. And is that a real thing? Let's talk about that. Is that a real thing? What do you think?
Back rooms,
Yeah,
as far
like
as like,
you ever seen shit like that, where they say if like you put two mirrors together,
okay,
can like
gotcha.
step through to another world, and the back rooms are like what you always see on like horror games and things like that, where it's like a
Okay.
never-ending supermarket, or
Yeah.
yeah, CIA, all white hallways with just doors you can never leave.
Yeah, just endless mazes kind of thing.
Yeah, and they've got monsters in there and like genetic experiments and
And then it ends up like
portals
like an English comedy with you just walking through doors that come out other doors.
in and out the hallway. Little alien chases you through one. Then you come back out the other chasing it.
Looney Tunes shit.
Okay. Oh man, this shit's too easy. See, we could write that script. So, right now, if we think about those things, okay, there's like physical, okay, and then there's the consciousness travel, and then you kind of go into like, the two types that they talk about of being like, oh man, deja vu, I've been here before, I can't remember where I'm at, or the other one, which was like you've gone and something's watching you, or it's attached to you, you don't feel alone, there's those two types, right? And then they're like, how does that method of contact work for those though, and they have a few theories, just as anybody does, because everybody has a better job than me and people get paid to fucking figure out interdimensional worlds. It's like, come on, dude. That's a way cooler job than mine.
Right. And figure out is a loose term.
It's
I mean,
of
we
something that
named it
doesn't.
in our podcast.
Yeah, does anybody think that exists? Does the government actually think this exists? They're spending money on it?
Right, to
What the
figure this shit
fuck?
out.
Dude. So they have like consciousness protocols because they think humans may be antennas. Okay. So remote viewing taught that like under discipline, Humans can access like non-local information, you know, training and training and training. You can see anything you want anywhere, you know. When it's quiet, everything's blind around you, you know, and the mind is just free.
And some
You're good,
meditation, like
you
deep
know.
meditation stuff. Gotcha.
Um, there's a biological radio though that they think that's like in us that can lock on to those broadband and narrowband signals, you know. So they think that's something like within us that could do it, you know, and it arrives as what we see or our emotions, you know, because we think we saw something, you know, an orb or an entity or whatever, or we feel somebody's watching us or like we've been affected, you know. So it kind of leads them to theorize, you know, maybe we are like giant antennas, which would make sense, you know, because you walk like you have empathy for other people, even, you know, like if they're angry, you get kind of angry, you know, or if they're
Yeah.
rowdy, you're like, well, fuck yeah, let's get rowdy.
Yeah, it's true. We feed off of each other's like emotions, what
Right?
some people call vibes.
Yeah. And it's like if there's interdimensional vibes, they can link up. You know, they travel through whatever's there.
We're just vibing with the aliens.
Yeah. Dude, did you ever know that like speaking of how we like feel and all that stuff, everything is black and white, like our brain puts color to it, right? Or am I
It's
wrong?
also upside down, right?
Yeah. So what
How,
the fuck is
how the
really
fuck
going
is
on?
it all upside down? That's a note. Like, if it's also upside down, then how is it all right side up?
How is gravity holding anything down if it's all upside down? Like my
Then
head's
nothing's
stuck to
upside
the
down.
ground?
Yeah, that
What
doesn't
is
it doesn't
upside
make
down? The
sense.
sky
Like
is the
because like the way our lens work, it has to flip. So like then the whole thing is upside down. It's like watching a fucking like oh, is that chick married? And you're like trying to figure out if she's like on YouTube or something. You're like, eh.
dude, it seriously is. It's like fucking fishbowl lenses when you put it on and it makes the person and then like walk upside down. It's like, is that really what we look like all day?
Yeah,
That's fucking weird, too.
upside down.
It's really fucking weird. I can't comprehend that. That's like too much for my brain to comprehend how
In
it's
black and
upside down.
white.
Yeah.
And
It's like,
different
why?
creatures can see in different like variant lights, dude. That's crazy to me too. Like I can't see an ultraviolet.
You know what I'm pissed off? That like evolution decided to, instead of like giving me something that's really going to help me in the world, you know, and prosperous and
It gave us
all
a
this
great
stuff, it
brain.
just went, yeah, let's put color to everything for them. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, I don't leave it all black and white. We never would have known color existed. Make us all fucking giants though that like have telekinetic power.
Yeah.
The fuck we need
Or
to
I
see
could like
pink.
yeah, I could smell things from further away. You know? Like
Yeah, what the fuck color do for us,
but then
dude?
again, dude, like do you want to smell this sewer plant from like 9 miles away? You know? Is it a superpower?
That's true. I don't. Well, I mean, if it's, can you turn it off?
Like, I mean, can you just like turn it to like, hey, I got some, delicious tacos in the fridge still, you know?
Side note here, real quick. Kingston hit me with a pretty good one the other day. He was listening to like psychology and stuff like that. He likes that kind of stuff right in high school. And he was like, can God make an object that he can't move? Right?
It's a pretty good one.
And it's like, well, if he makes one he can't move, then he's not all powerful and can do anything. If he makes something he can move, well, then he can, you know,
Then
make
he's still
shit.
not. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a pretty good question. Why can't it be like, yeah, he can make an item immovable, but then he could move it if he wanted to? Because that's the correct answer,
Right.
right? But if you can make an object that isn't in, you can make if he makes something he can't move, then he's not powerful enough to move it. But if he can't make it, then he's not powerful enough to not make it, right? It's like it's the
Right.
same conundrum. It's tricky,
It
tricky.
is. That
I was
is
like, dude, those
tricky,
are
man.
questions with no answers. That's tough.
Yeah. Some philosophical shit.
Yeah, there you go. Philosophical. Philosophy. That's it.
Mhm.
That's the short word I was looking for. Right? Or they have this other hypothesis that like if we're not the antenna, right? There's these electromagnetic windows. Okay. So witnesses and like engineers and things like that all point to electromagnetic conditions, like we were talking about, the geomagnetic activity or like localized lightning strike energy, all this kind of stuff. And then like 5G man-made fields that we've been doing, they theorize that maybe they're aligning that shit with us and creating these like deliberate energy fields that open windows. And like in lab trained instances, weak patterned magnetic fields can induce presence and like sensations of other things and alter your perception, say a good example of that, is like when they send you to a haunted
LSD.
house or LSD, yeah, stuff like that,
Gotcha.
We both went a little different there, or like
You're like
an
a haunted
amusement park
house. I'm
ride.
like,
Yes, but dude, who knows what LSD is? That shit's wild.
like
It,
I'm just like thinking like it's just such a I don't know open like I don't know, man. It's like a
yeah, oh yeah. That's
I don't know where I was going with that, but I was going somewhere.
we're going to space, man. Um, so like they can create that stuff in labs, or just in controlled environments through regular fucking like IMAX movies, even, is a good example of that. But
Right.
in the wild where we don't create these situations, there's these fields and you can find like these intense electromagnetic fields with this RF light and radiation, and they like correspond directly with these phenomena and like your electrical shit, spazzing out when you get there and all this stuff, and then somebody goes, oh man, there's orbs all around me, so there is that correlation of that too without it being built in a lab.
Yeah.
And if you're turning the world, which is wild, and you're putting these towers, maybe we are the giant lab now, and that's why 5G's made things a little wicked when people hate the towers, or you know maybe they're just cell phone towers, who knows. You would need to like all this electrical equipment, I feel like, and specialized tools to fucking figure that out, right?
Right. Take a
And then
lot.
does it prove that it's an entity or a different dimension? That's just like
Not
we're just doing
necessarily,
this
right?
and going, well, if there was another dimension, it'd be within what we think these realm of parameters would be.
Right, right. We'd put our human box around it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, is it even in those parameters? Are those even right?
Right. Kind of like the philosophical question, like if you put God in a tight enough box, you know?
Yep. Yeah. And then there's one other little like small part of that too, like if we're not antennas and if it's not like areas, maybe there's a feedback loop, right? Where the attention to it, kind of like you were saying, will feed that manifestation. You know, the more you look, the more it looks back, type thing. So it's observer effect, pretty much is what they're saying. So if you give it enough attention, it'll create that feedback loop where belief or fear turns into like ritual, and then instrumentation will become gain and control, on how much you're going to amplify that fucking thing. So if you like walk down an alley and you're like, oh man, I swear there's something in here,
Dude,
well,
so
at that
like
point,
I
it's
don't
up
know,
to
like
you.
my brain went to a weird spot with that. Like so like Audie Murphy, right? The last scene of Fury, right? That's actually that was a different tank, different battle, but that would be Audie Murphy just like sitting on the back shooting a ton of dudes. But like how is he on this level to where all these dudes are just like on like I mean they're even on meth. I mean,
Yeah.
and he's still like clear like I mean, he's just sensing them. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
like he's
Like
like,
you're
"Oh,
like a
there's guys
different
over here.
wavelength. Yeah.
Pop 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 pop. Oh
Like
shit, there's guys over here." Like
his his fucking mighty mitochondria, bro, synced in with the frequency or whatever it was around,
that's what I'm
that
saying. Like,
perfect
yeah,
place, perfect time. Because there are those soldiers, bro, that like get into it and turn into just
like
complete operating machines.
dude, and it's crazy. Like, I mean, like, are you like at a next level of like just sensing all those frequencies coming off of shit? You know, like, is
It's
that what's
tight.
really going on?
Could they create like a heads up display for that?
Dude, wouldn't that be sweet? Like, pretty
Yeah.
much. Like, I mean, look, if you can, humans got to be letting off some sort of electricity, right?
Yeah. Did you see the fucking like helmet that we posted for warfare?
Oh, where like you can see the bad guy and the good guys like through walls.
You could see everything and then you can like command your other teammates, right? You can see something and then they can see the other side in your and then all of a sudden it'll create like a 3D map of everything where you
Right.
could like be like, oh, now we see you and send in a drone strike and shit. It's like,
Dude,
what
that's
the fuck?
insane. That's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, you now you're like synchronized attacks and shit, because you can see your buddies right at the wall too, and you're like, hell yeah, go on three. It's like
Dude,
FaceTime all the time, right? um,
dude.
so the like we talked about a couple guys earlier, and I want to talk about them again, a couple instances where they actually like met or crossed into the other dimension, it's not just all if there is something, these people have gone there. So the Joe McMonagle, let me pull him up here real quick. I had him over. Right. He was a remote viewer and he did hundreds of controlled sessions. Okay. And he was the one who produced specific descriptions of like distant targets, dude, of non local structures. He later recounted sessions that like skipped time. So he like started doing it so much he got into it, like deep, deep, deep in hundreds and hundreds of sessions that he was able the things he was doing were verifiable, but they hadn't happened yet. So he was starting to see like either different dimensions, a time loop, or like the future, you know?
Right. Right.
So that,
Like, hey, they're gonna build a building over there.
mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Or like, hey, this is actually going to be, because they were like non local structure stuff. So like you wouldn't have the information of just being like, hey, it's a building here. It was like, hey, we're going to build, or this will be a park surrounded by a waterfall or something. And it's like, what the fuck? And then like 2 months later, a park's built or some shit like that. It's like, oh, that's what that motherfucker is talking about. So maybe, I don't know, information either like can come ahead of the clock or maybe you can like cross that time threshold because you unlocked like so much remote viewing in your brain. Now you're no longer stuck to just our timeline.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a little trippy. um and then I want to go back to Ingo Swann too, right? He did like he couldn't see anything either. They didn't give him a target to look at. They would give Joe like a target and he
It's
could go
like, so,
find it.
yeah, yeah.
Ingo
Like,
didn't need any of that, right? He just knew like as environmental intelligence is what they called it. So they're like, ah, man, we know this is going to happen and that's going to happen, and he could like find the place where it would be, and then they'd have to find like that person that it was going to be. But dude, he started like
that's almost
doing,
like some oddball confirmation bias going on. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like, hey,
uh-huh,
this guy gave us like this idea, like that this battle's gonna happen over here. Like, okay, now a battle's gonna happen over here.
that's pretty weird, right? Yeah. Are they just tipping the scales like a fucking great grifter or whatever, you know, they
Yeah,
call
like
those.
yeah, you said we won, so it's should be good.
Should be. Yeah, right. Let's go. Dude, his though were like the information he said he started doing it so much too that he's almost got the perception that like his was interactive when he was in it. So he was no longer just viewing something from another place and time and things like that, but he was like able to interact in that place now. So he wasn't just viewing, he was actually fucking like traveling or jumping interdimensionally, which is pretty trippy. That's more to the story, you know, than what they like. I guess just thinking about it more, you know,
Right.
you got to put that together, dude. And it's like, is it more than just information exchange? Now it's an event. Like now you can fucking interact in that place. So now you can do shit.
And why is warrior like, like is that really what tickles your fancy? I mean, you're not
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna look at the stock market for a while
Right.
and
Let's fucking like, let's go remote view fucking Saturn
right?
or the Sagittarius constellation from fucking the WoW signal. I
Right?
wonder if they ever tried to remote view that. Seems like it'd be a pretty good one.
I mean, might as well see, right? I mean,
Um,
she's just remotely viewing things. So I mean, hey, what you got on this? You
yeah,
know?
yeah. What you doing? There's oxygen here. You're not really going there. Just they're like when you can interact, don't fucking do it. You're
Don't
in
fuck up the
space.
relations.
Yeah, right. Don't touch an alien. Don't see if you could touch them in a time rift. Okay. um, and then I got this Lynn Buchanan. Okay, and it was a viewer for an army unit, right? Um, they were known for saying that when they would receive or go and view this data, that it knew the data knew it was there. So like they were like, hey, go fucking we're looking for, you know, a target of these missiles in this warehouse, say. And Lynn would go and remote view that. And it was like the missiles and the warehouse would send its data of its information back to Lynn. So it wasn't like, oh man, I just got and went and found this. It was okay, well, maybe everything then is like active, you know? Maybe it all has a frequency to it and it all can be manipulated across time and all this shit, right? If it knows and it's sending it back at them, then it knows you're fucking looking at it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Is
weird.
that how protons actually work?
Well, that's why I opened it with, you know, if with a double slit experiment, right? You
Yeah.
view when they're viewing them, they were going straight, doing the
Mhm.
same thing. But when they weren't through a double
Right.
helixed wall or whatever, they did what the fuck ever they wanted. Different every time. So that's weird. It's really fucking weird when you put it together with this, right? And they're viewing targets, and those targets now know they're being viewed, so they're sending data back. It's like, are they sending you the false data back?
Yeah.
Are they
How would you
are
know?
they blocking your mind? Can they
Yeah.
even think like that?
Like, were we the only ones trying to do that?
Dude, that's fucking so crazy, isn't it? No, I guarantee you we were not the only one. I bet you we were working with a bunch of like, you know, other countries.
I mean, Japan was in deep
We were
with their
definitely
medical
using the
shit.
Nazis for this shit too, guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
It it trips me out. It's tight to me that they were like they have this information and nobody's ever like brought it to light to make it like a real thing. It's like how powerful is this now?
Yeah. Like, I mean, back then you were using it for war. What could you have been? What else have you used it for? You know?
Have they fucking remote viewed like
The moon
me touch
landing?
me
Like,
touching
oh, here's
myself?
what it would be like. Yeah, like, hey, here's Michael touching himself. This is what it
Here's
would be like.
here's interdimensional Michael finding other interdimensional Michael. The data fed to them first and went, oh, he's going to touch himself. Leave. You know?
I'm like, I mean, you'd think that they would use them for like, hey, don't let, our country get attacked with planes or something.
Hey, let's see what Three Eye Atlas is.
Something. Like, I mean, the possibilities are endless, but in World War II, we're just like, these things are really accurate. Let's just be done with them now.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Why stop? So the pattern through all that, right? If you got a disciplined mind, dude, you could like acquire distance or data from distance. You can like be spoken to from a certain distance cognitively, like in your brain,
Right, right.
so there's something there in a different dimensional area. Um, Jacques Vallée, okay, he cataloged thousands of those cases and he proposed that the phenomenon behaved like a control system. So, kind of like what we were saying, it is an intelligence that shapes our human belief via staged encounters. Via, probably via, right? How do you
Via,
ever say that?
via.
Via.
I always say via. I don't know.
So, like, he kind of rolled onto what we were just getting to. Like, it knows and it's sending the data back. Is it manipulating that
Hmm.
while being viewed? Absolutely. I mean, you comb your hair when you know you're going to be looked at, don't you? You
Right,
brush your
right,
teeth.
right.
Yeah. You're not
So,
just going out there balls, hey, do whatever you want, stare at me. However, you're going to manipulate a little and be like, no, you see me like this.
right, right. Like it's a perfect structure,
And if we
like
see everything upside
say it's
down and in
like
black and white,
missing bricks and stuff. Like you might not see that because it wants you to see the perfect building, right? Like,
what the fuck, right?
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it trips me out to think that, dude. Um,
Like, what if the thing you're actually even looking at does that though? Like,
dude, that
like my
I
Pepsi
whole
can's just sitting there trying to be pretty right now,
I know, dude. Like I wholeheartedly believe
waiting for a
that's
sponsor.
why you put something there and it's not fucking there anymore, and then you come back and it's right fucking there, right?
It's always the thing I just had in my hand.
Yeah,
Always.
it was always just the data fucking transfer. Yeah, yeah, weird. So Colm A. Kelleher, okay, this is a biochemist and a field investigator. Kelleher's accounts from you know the Skinwalker Ranch investigations describe layered anomalies, okay, like crafts and entities, and then there are like post encounter effects that left with them, followed them. They were the one who studied like the attachment one stuff. Um, and they theorized, that the proximity creates that entanglement. So it'll attach to you if it can manipulate, things around you to manipulate everybody else.
Hmm.
I don't know if, I thought interdimensional stuff was cool. And the more we get into this, I'm like, dude, I forgot how fucked up this was when I was reading this.
Right? Like it's just fucking with us. It could be.
It's another, like, I don't know, it's another vote in the simulation theory too, all this kind of ties to that. Like, oh no, you're tied into here. And George Knapp. We all know George Knapp, right? He's a journalist, UFO journalist.
Okay.
He's with Jeremy Corbell on their show Weaponized.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So he did his own and tracked like recurring signatures, right? Electromagnetic spikes with like animal reactions, and like if there was intelligent response to these experiments and stuff. And he kind of set it up as if whatever the data is that's being fed to us could read the protocol that he was going to do, so he was trying to manipulate that back. um it pretty much proved that like it's an adaptive data system set too. Like it learned that that's what was happening. So it was still able to understand that George Knapp was trying to track and get it to respond to his reactions. And it learned that and still like was able to give it, the data the way it wanted to in these spikes and signatures and electromagnetic readings.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So even electrically, it was giving off the same readings it just wanted to be seen as.
Or it's like there's other dimensional things around it, while you're doing this that are interacting with you that we just can't see.
Right. That are like interfering with your signal that are
Mhm.
like,
Or
you
it's
thought you were
you right here literally layered upon your own hand, 30 million other infinite hands touch it at the same time.
could be.
And you're interacting with yourself, right? These are all things to prove that, like, while it's feeding you back the data, is it because it's an interdimensional, there's another dimension that I'm there viewing that, so that data is being fed back to me because I am absorbing it just in this other dimension? It's intelligent response because it's going through to another dimension of an intelligent person. This is where I was like, how could you prove that? Right now, this is how they're fucking proving it. And when you read it in layman's terms like that, it's like, damn, that does kind of fuck you up, dude.
Dude.
Now, there are some people who have actually not just like witnessed it or taught about it, but I found some people who like claim to have experienced these things. Okay. Um, there was a naval aviator whistleblower. Okay. He just goes by K. Um, described a structured object executing impossible accelerations and like anticipated sensor locks. So it knew that it was going to be locked onto before it happened. And then they would be like, okay, lock onto the right. And it knew that was coming. So it'd go left before they even said that.
Right.
And
Like chasing it around electronically.
and you were always one step behind, like it knew what it was going to do. And then he claimed after the event, everything became like synchronized to him, and he would have like these crazy dreams, dude, and everything electronic he was around would malfunction now and shit like that. So it
So it is just me. That's the reason technology hates me.
yeah, dude. So that leads you to believe, right? You're chasing something. That field had like an effect, and then it stuck with them. Kind of like how they said, whatever it was kept to
Right.
it. And if
Like almost like some radiation shit, right?
yeah, and the crazy part about the story is like it knew what they were going to do before they do it, which leads me to believe, okay, were they interdimensional or like time looped ahead? So they already had done this and were prepared for it, trained it over and over and over, knew every turn right before it was going to
Right.
happen,
Or
came
we're
in
just
with the
that
blueprint.
much faster.
Yeah. Yeah. They just have that much tech. It senses what side it's coming from.
Yeah, like I mean, what like I don't know, when I see the light go green, is it when you see the light go green?
No, no,
Like yeah,
that's the Andromeda paradox.
you don't see the same thing.
If we're literally standing shoulder to shoulder and you're walking, but I'm jogging, we're seeing like 10 million years difference
Yeah.
up in the sky.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Right? Yeah, dude, I guess, yeah. If that is something like that is literally just that much on a perspective of that much quicker or whatever, that
Yeah.
they could be, oh, yeah, we've seen it already.
Miles ahead of you,
Yeah,
like yeah, if you're that much quicker already, you're
that's trippy.
I mean,
Um,
and then like you like because like on one of my games, it's kind of realistic to like what a jet is, and like all is a lock on is like basically finding it with a cursor and like clicking it, right? Like I mean, you're just trying to find a dot, and like I can only imagine something trying to move away from you while you're trying to fucking do that. You're
oh
like,
my
no, it's
goodness,
fucking right
yes.
here.
Yeah, like flashlight tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so we have another person, right, who reported stepping off of a busy street into like hushed stillness is what they claim. Okay. She claimed like colors dimmed, the sound dampened. This one sounds like to like an NDE, kind of how Devin described it, right?
Mm.
The sound damped and like a figure crossed her path that didn't seem like correct, you know? And then she claimed like the edges were wrong, people like weren't moving fluidly. They were just kind of off tempo with what they were. And then a couple minutes later, everything was fine. It was like it was stepped off and it was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? And then like 2 steps later, everything was back to normal. I've never had anything like that happen in my life. Have you?
No, no.
Yeah. A lot of people have said that, dude. If you look that up, like they've turned a corner and went, what the fuck? I swear I saw like, a diner that was supposed to be here in like the 30s, or, they saw their mom like eating breakfast when they were 14. It's like, what the fuck? But if time is all linear and everything's on that plane, right? You would see baby to death of everything. How come we don't see
True.
that though? I had this question too with this one's trippy. I was showing Alex pictures and I was like, you ever seen the pillars of creation? Like the giant gas nebulas in space,
Okay, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they're like those 3 tall pillars
Mm.
and they're massive, bro. Like millions of light years across.
Yeah.
Massive, massive, massive. Larger than our fucking solar system. Like we're a speck in it, dude. And I'm like, look at these insane structures in space. And I'm like, we're a speck in it. And I can see the sun illuminating everything from that far away, but I can't see the pillars of creation. Why can't I see those? Those should be like, dude, bigger than fucking anything you could imagine, right? Like you would think we would see part of it.
At the distance.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, well, it's so far away. I'm like, well, how far is fucking far, bro? Because our whole entire galaxy, which is so far away, even to the other end of it, is a speck inside of it. That's how big these things are. You know,
That makes you feel really small, doesn't
dude, it's like
it?
giants could walk bigger than our planets, and it's like that's fucking huge. But you still can't see the pillars of creation, which are infinitely times larger than that. Or is it because we can't see fucking color? Like if we wore crazy chromatic glasses that they had all those, like the scientists read to make the
Probably.
pictures with color. It's
Gotcha.
like, would you put those on and see it? Maybe then you could. I'd probably get scared. I'd probably take that off. Like, dude, that's fucking, I don't want to see that.
Like, I don't know, like, how do bugs even see light? You know? Like, I wonder, like, that. Like, I mean, they are very attracted to that shit. You
Yeah,
know?
that's gotta, dude, that's such a good question.
How do they not just keep flying up into the sun? Like, a moth will fucking attack my light, but it won't go just keep
Maybe they
flying into the
do.
sun? I
Maybe,
just don't get
dude,
that.
maybe bugs just keep flying up for a lot of their life.
I mean, they're attracted to my fucking light. Like, it's gonna go away.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that's a really good point. What do they see? All that stuff just makes me like, there's got to be a phobia of it, right? But I have
And
like
then,
a
like,
phobia of
dude,
that.
how much quicker are they than you? I mean,
How does
they're
the
like
light
on
not
another
blind
level,
them?
you know?
Those little eyes, you think that giant, it's like, I can't stare into the sun. How the fuck they staring into these lights?
Yeah, like attacking it.
All right, so here's another one. There's this research technician, right? And he was working near high field equipment and he observed a pulsing light in empty air that changed color in response to what he was thinking. So like a mood ring. Okay. Um, then he started dreaming about it and then began seeing like number patterns, dude, that ended up being like phone numbers that were getting ready to call him. Yeah, it was weird. He would like see number patterns come up in the thing, and then a phone would ring and it'd be that number.
That'd be weird, like pre-color ID.
Yeah, why? What? Why? Why get that from a fucking, you saw a pulsing light and that's what it gave you? I'd be so pissed.
Out of all the superpowers, I got color
I got
ID.
caller ID. And it's not even, it doesn't even tell me who it is, dude. It's literal
Just
fucking
the numbers.
star 69. It's got, you got to know the number, right?
You didn't even get full-blown fucking color ID, dude. You got star
Yeah,
69.
you got early 2000s caller ID, fucking pager ID. I thought that one was funny, right? I was like, this guy got suckered out of his shit, dude.
Oh, Michael's calling me. How do you know? Well,
I remember
my
his number.
caller ID told me. I mean, I at least remember his number.
And is it every?
This
Is
is
it every
fucking
phone
spam calls.
number? You go into a public space, all you see is just all these phone numbers because all these calls are coming through. You're like, no, no.
The invention of the cell phone. You just gotta go fucking
So
take the
they,
old Remington retirement.
yeah, you're like, I'm done, dude. So if it ain't aliens, right? Maybe there's neighboring civilizations. It's kind of a theory. Like we're full of adjacent realities, kind of like I've been talking about this whole time. So with all the energy and the magnetic and all that stuff, some of those are close enough. If we're the fucking, magnetic radio wave antenna, or if we're the field, or that might be what all this shit is, dude. But we're literally getting like data collection that we don't know how to read or what to do with in odd ways too, right? Like remote viewing, and something sends its data back to us like, oh shit, we're fucking watching you. Or we go to look at something and it's like, oh no, I'm just going to stay with you. Once you leave, you're like, oh dude, get away.
Or supercomputers do, or fucking quantum computers do that too. Like give us a whole bunch of shit we can't even read.
Yeah, yeah, just trash language.
Yeah, all of
it's
it. Like
it's
maybe
fucking
they're all
AI
twined
language.
in together. You know? Just
I
like
don't know.
fucking protons fucking with us, man.
I feel like the AI things are going to pop off soon because we're hitting that shit fucking hard, bro.
Dude, so much energy just for that.
Which I don't.
How is it any different than fucking Google?
I
Why does it
know.
take more?
I know. I'm like, how do we keep going? Oh, this takes so much fucking electricity. It's costing out the wazoo. I'm like, dude, how have we not invested all that money in harnessing a fucking lightning strike? Like, hot
These are
damn,
my
there's so
points, man.
much. Yeah. There's fucking joules of energy, not kilowatts or megawatts,
Yeah,
right? There's
yeah.
mega joules. Take
Fucking
that shit.
heat up some salt and boil
Yeah,
some
let's
water or
roll.
something.
Yeah, they don't want you doing that. You'll get in trouble for that. So there's that, right? Like dimensionals, or this is my favorite one. This is kind of the one I told you about, what I thought Atlas 3I would be like us, from a different time. So humans from the future, from now in the future to us, so us now just coming back, which is weird to think of, but there's a lot of people that emphasize, human like forms and time anomalies and like lineage and ecology, there's a lot of study of that shit, and it's like studying the past, dude, a lot, and making us like the ancestors really gives you something to look at, to be like, okay, well, maybe we're the thing across time then. So, that's a lot of the theory, and I think that's a cover up by saying, oh, it's our military that does all this shit. And it's like, well, maybe it's just fucking us the whole time. We're just fucking ourselves up. God,
True.
wouldn't that be the ultimate kick in the nuts? We figured out all this tech and it's just, we've created some time loop paradox. We're just stuck being piece of shit humans. Right?
Forever.
Forever. They're like, damn, they were remote viewing and I sent the data back. They're like, nice, what'd you send? Me jerking myself.
Came back, deja vu, jerking it, and fucking started off from there again.
Right.
Weird reincarnation.
Fuck. Or, dude, they think like, it could be that the intelligence trying to trick us, sending us back its own data or knowing it's being watched, and it's staging the events for us, making it chaotic or, making us move forward or making everything crash. If it's controlling how we view it, that has to be a thought. Um, there's like these lab attempts too, right? And they have these constant things that seem to work within it that those people know. And there's like always a set time, always a set place, and there's always boundaries for it. Right? They never allow it to just be like chaotic. It doesn't seem to work, right? It's like it wants to be respected. If you want to fucking see it, it's like, put on your nice clothes. Come talk to me. You ain't just fucking coming in here. I was barging into my bathroom while I'm in the shower.
Right.
They know that like humans can be paired with electronic equipment and get readings from it. So there's devices and perceptions, and it's correlated by that, right? We're biological sensors essentially. And they also say you have to invite interdimensional shit. You can't like chase it because it knows that you're looking. Which is weird.
It is.
Which is proven by like, right, the double slit experiment.
But
you
it
can't
knows,
corner it.
like, yeah, like it already, like even if you're trying to bait it in, it already knows you're trying to catch it.
Yeah, it's a move ahead, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like playing chess against like something that's always fucking like Magnus.
I like how we've throughout this episode given it like its own life. We're like, oh no, you can't control it. It's talking to you. It's something.
Yeah,
but it really has turned out to be like that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And dude, they say like provocation backfires, like gets it incorrect data when they were trying to like trick it or be like, oh, just fucking give us the answers, and try to go in and get the shit out of it. It was always masking it, giving like different data that wasn't real because we see things upside down and in black and white. So clearly it's manipulated that way.
Right.
So there's a couple things, there were a couple people too, that posted like bad things that had happened from it, right? And there were like people who couldn't stop thinking about it, and then they ended up with insomnia or like addiction to remote viewing or mind manipulation. People,
some women like that.
Yeah. The attachment, right? People claim, to like forever now they hear knocks on their doors, or lights turn on in rooms, or it's like they broke the threshold and you can't close it again,
Right.
And it's forever crossing over here and there. The pizza guy in Dimension 2 fucking knocked on the door and it knocked in Dimension 1. You're like, damn it, nobody's there. A lot of these people too, dude, ended up with like health issues. So something happened. Whether it be insomnia or like, dude, a lot of them were like sick from it. So it takes something from you.
That's crazy.
It's not cool.
Whatever this it is.
Yes.
Not cool.
The government's pro. Why the fuck give a shit about this, right? This is where I wrote a little bit of note. Why the fuck would the governments even care about this shit? Okay. Well, you want like recon, you don't want it to be attributed to you if you looked at something, right? What if you're not supposed to be? Like, I don't fucking want me. I just know the information. Okay. So you can't be busted, right? And you can get these pre-event leaks, right? We started doing it enough that we started knowing before the events were happening, right? We knew the event, but we could say it before.
Right.
Or here's what I think they use it the most for, like CIA shit, dude. I think
For
they
sure.
know, right? They can see this stuff and know what manipulates and what data is being sent back and what's there. And they can manipulate that to like create belief of something else in the area. And that's what I think. And now they're making like, maybe we only see the bad because they're fucking with the data, but they've blocked our blinders, of these areas they don't want us to see, right? Like the Middle East, or something like that. You don't see it because we can't, they're like, only feed this remote view or this dimension. Let this one leak through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Kind of like some like reality, like uh what is that when you're messing with like ads and stuff like
yeah.
starts with the P, freaking Himmler, propaganda.
There you go. Yeah,
Propaganda.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
controlled almost to that
Reality
point.
propaganda,
Yeah.
you know?
And if dude, it's fucking weird. It's like, what if I'm going to get real fucking crazy here, just Michael again. What if like all the stuff you see on TV and Instagram and all that, what if those are even like different dimensions and they're like, it's AI made? It's like, no, we're feeding you propaganda of this war from a different dimension to fuck with you here on Earth. Right? We
It's
can view it there.
That's crazy.
Because then you hear about these people and they're like, dude, they just said this shit's going down here, but I'm posting a video here right now and it's fine. You're like, what the fuck?
It's true.
Yeah.
Like how much is real and how much is fake. And like I think AI is gonna fuck with us a lot with that too.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
we
it already
already
has.
like I mean we were already questioning Bigfoot photos, you know? Like now like
Yeah.
you could have a Bigfoot photo. I'm gonna call it AI. So I mean it works both ways now because like if you could have like a real life photo next to you and Bigfoot, and I'd gonna be like, that's fucking fake. Fuck you. You
Yeah,
know?
dude. Yeah. And it might, dude, it's wild. What if AI is not even AI? What if AI is the data and it's like, dude, I knew you were
It's got to
watching me.
come
I'm
from
watching you.
somewhere, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's what I had, and I opened it
I think
with a
it's
little bit of,
inherently evil, though.
yes. I mean, it's
Seems like
taking out
it,
our water and energy. That's just not healthy in general.
right?
you know?
The
So
Matrix is coming true.
if you thought I was going to talk about fucking aliens and spaceships for interdimensional or contact, well, I bummed you out, folks, and I'm sorry for that. But, we did get to the bottom of that shit. And maybe they're just feeding us a bunch of bullshit, right?
True.
Dude, these people are out here and they are fucking manipulating time and space to view things. And then to like, that's travel, right? That's fucking time travel. That's like space travel. Just because your body ain't moving. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
because your mind moves faster than your body ever will.
Yeah. That's all I got, bro.
All right, man.
And we're the
That's
end
an
of days
awesome one.
best friends. Don't get lost in another dimension. And if you are, I bet you, hopefully, it's the one where our podcast is fucking doing good,
Yeah, and don't touch yourself.
where they're not bashing on us. Well, you could touch yourself. Don't touch your other self.
I
You don't know
think
what
it's
kind
still
of time
gay.
loop. You know, you don't know what kind of loop that'll create. All right. We're the end of days best friends. I'm your boy, Michael.
And I'm Matt.
We'll catch y'all on the next one.